Alright, this is my United Virtual FRA attempt. This is Captain Henry Jackson, United PID 9653. I have my tablet's share screen over here so you guys can see what I'm briefing. It has my fuel plan right here, and then this is just my streaming software. On my second monitor, I do have the FRA guidelines. Alright, start off. We're going to start off by going in here. We're going to put the required weight and balance into the aircraft. I'll pull this up here. That's gonna suck. Alright, well, I guess we won't be doing it off the iPad. I do have it pulled up here on my second monitor as well. Alright, so our zero fuel weight is planned to be 57600. Sure, and then our fuel. Alright, our fuel at gate is gonna be 7962. Enter. We're gonna set this in the sim. If you look here, our payload's 60%, and our fuel is at 40. Alright, everything's set up there. I do have ground power connected. The aircraft is not powered, however. It is just available for now. I'm going to have that set up, and I'm going to do my safety check. So, start through the aircraft, no power is provided. A to G is stowed. That is push fully, and parking brake is set. Those are off. Weather radar is off. Everything is showing off. And our flaps lever is all the way up. So are our speed brakes. So the aircraft is safe to be powered. So I'm going to go ahead and do my startup checks. Battery master DC service. I'm going to turn on ground power, nav lights coming on. Hydraulics, auto, on, auto. I'm just getting a lot of errors here, so I'm just going to click those off. That's just the startup errors. I'm going to go through, I'm going to start up our APU nice and early. Open the door, press the start. You can see here APU is in test. Now it is starting. LCV and SCV are open, and we can see this start to spin up here. While that's spinning up, we're going to continue on with my flow. Air conditioning packs will be turned on later. No smoke inside. And seatbelt signs will be on. Emergency lights are armed. Just keeping an eye on the APU as we're going through here. Mach trim is engaged. Snapshot. Yacht damper. This doesn't clear out until later. It's an error with the system, I believe. Set this to standby. That's on standby as well. Make sure that's still off. Going through, reversers aren't going to be armed just quite yet. And I'm going to initialize our position. We can confirm database. This is the 2nd of January, 2026. Database is active and in the CRJ 700. We are at KIAD. And we're up. I need to switch these off. Just then my flow. We're going to go down here. We're going to go up the GNSS1 position, enter it there. We can see those are now aligning. APU is good, available. We're going to click off Ground power, we're going to turn on packs, air conditioning, condition air, low, low. Anti-ice is not needed. And bleed valves are set to auto. AP channels also auto. Okay, we're going to test our oxygen. And we'll go through up here. We're going to do our test for our thermometer. I don't believe it is simulated in this aircraft, but we can go say that's complete. We're going to go originating checklist. Crew instruments are checked. Good PSI. Audio warning panel is checked. Electric power channel is checked. Fire X monitor test is set. Or sorry, tested. External lights. We have our nav light. Fuel panel is checked. Lead air panel is also checked. AP was on. Start panel is checked. Hydraulic panel auto on auto auto. Our ELT is armed. Cabin pressure panel is checked. Air conditioning panel has been checked. Anti-ice is checked. Windshield heat is set low. Emergency lights are armed. Standby compasses checked. Nose wheel steering is confirmed off. Clocks, I need to go ahead and do that. So we're going to have those set to ET, and then we're going to set these to GPS. And then this aircraft, ET, starts the timer as soon as the aircraft wheels have been lifted off. Instrument panels have been checked. Upper pedestal is checked. Thrust lever quadrant is checked. Avionics have been checked. Trims checked. Yaw damper. It is engaged, however, it doesn't actually go into effect till later in this aircraft. Okay, I'm going to go through. I'm going to now do my before start. Well, versus are going to be armed. That's going to stay off for now. Going through, making sure everything's good here. We don't need the beacon light on just quite yet, so I'm going to go through here. And we're going to go flight plan. We are KIAD. Dulles to Dulles. And let's see if I can remember my PID. And 9653. It's going to be our flight number. Originating runway is 19 left. We're going to execute that. Fixes. I'm going to put in the ammo VOR. And radial cross. We're going to go into the FRA plan. We need the 235 radial. Okay. I forgot. This aircraft doesn't let you do that. So we're just gonna have to tune it in here. We'll be turning our base. After our base leg. We'll be doing every heading turn manually. We're gonna go over to perf init. Our cruise altitude today is 6,000 feet. Our zero fuel weight. I'll pull it back up here. Is 57600. Zero fuel weight. And fuel on board today, 7962. We can confirm that right here, close enough. That was probably from starting the APU. We're gonna execute that. No winds, no IC deviation. Reserves, we have 2,062 pounds of reserve. And estimated time of departure is not needed. Our taxi fuel is 400. Then we're going to go to VNAV, climb 280, 250 below 10. Not going to touch cruise speed, 250 below 10. 4 degree descent path. So we're going to go, there's no flex for our departure day, so we're not going to put that there. We are going to go to our database, and we're going to go to KIAD. elevation is 312, so we're going to set our cabin pressure 312. We'll keep that at 300. Okay. We're gonna go to, everything should be set in here. I'm gonna keep these both on legs. Over here, I'm gonna turn on the I'm gonna just turn it on to on. Alright, this will tell us if it has any major sense for us. Parts arrivals, departing, runway 19 left. Arriving, we're going to take the ILS, runway 19 left, vectors. We can zoom in here. Hopefully that was tuned well. Over here on the iPad, we're going to pull up the airport chart. And I'm going to program for our ILS and everything. So, 19 left. Heading is 191. Heading 191 set. In our initial, we're going to climb up to about 6,000. Before 6,000, we're going to go up to about 2,000 as our initial. We're going to level off, speed up 250, then we're going to keep our climb going. So I'm going to set 2,000 set here. Speeds, our takeoff speeds from the plan. Speed ref V1 is 128. Have that set. V rotate is 129. V2 140. Now that those are set, our V target's gonna be V2 plus 20, so 160. And our clean speed is 180 knots. So by 180 knots, we should be all good. So I'm going to set my speed to V2 plus 20. Looks like our IRS is just aligned, so we can turn on the flight director. Our departure brief. I'm gonna pull up. Alright. Aircraft details. November 783 Sierra Kilo. We are a CRJ 700. Dispatch release a number not needed. Weather ATIS. NOP. Winds are calm. Charting runway 19 left. No NOTAMs affecting taxi departure. Taxi routing. We're gonna be doing both engines for taxi since it's a short taxi. We're gonna be going out Bravo, Kilo, Juliet 1 for a full length. Runways in use, 19 left, no, it's dry, no wind shear, no vapors. Project takeoff below 80 knots. Any errors or anything that would prevent us from flying above 80 but below V1. Any critical errors that couldn't be resolved in the sky or anything detrimental to crew or the safety of our passengers. Over V1, there will be no, we cannot reject takeoff. We'll be continuing up, and if needed, we can fly, turn around right back into the runway, or we'll try to troubleshoot over the airport. Flaps V-speeds are going to be taken off. Flaps 8, taken off Juliet 1. Our V-speeds are V1 128, rotate 129, V2 140. Climbing will be, our climb speed's going to be 160 knots. Our clean speed's 180 knots. Takeoff profile considerations. After takeoff, we're going to level off at about 2,000 feet. We're going to speed up to 250 knots, and we're going to continue our climb up to 6,000. ATC clearances and a SID. No SID. We are after departure. Once we get up to 6,000, we're going to take a right turn and fly a heading of 280. Then we're going to take, after we cross the 235 radial to AMO VOR, we're going to turn right heading 010 for our downwind leg. And then we're going to turn right once again and fly heading of 010 crossing. Sorry. After we cross the 340 radial, we are going to continue right heading 100, start slowing down 180 knots in advanced flaps, descend 3,000, and then we're going to cross the 175 radial. That's going to be a recommendation for us. We're going to try to turn in our base by ourselves. Then we're going to take a right turn heading 140. About 15 nautical miles from the airport, we are going to intercept the localizer, so I'm going to go ahead and put in a fix Dulles and distance cross 15. I'm also going to set a 20. So we're going to copy, we're going to add one more, and we're also going to set a 20. So we are 100% sure when we're turning our base leg. Alright. Legs page is set for both. That's what we like to keep it standard here. Onto approach, we're going to be landing flaps 30. Standard landing. We'll brief the approach once we're on downwind. Continuing our departure briefing. Transition altitude non-need, departure frequency also not needed. No terrain or obstacle considerations. Engine failure procedure. There's plenty of flat space around the airport. We're going to try to make it back to the airport as possible. If it was only one and we are still able to fly, we'll try to troubleshoot over the airport so we have that data. Special conditions were being recorded. This is an FRA attempt. Departure briefing is completed. Before start checklist, passenger signs are on. Landing elevation is set. Altimeter 29902. FMS is checked and set. RSs are aligned. We're not going to have nav yet. Radios, nav aids are... Actually, we need to set this. So, the AML VOR. I'm going to go back to our database here. AML. 113.5. And then for the ILS frequency, I'm going to have that tuned on COM 2. So we're still watching it. Our ILS frequency is 110.1. So I'm going to have that tuned in COM 2. This one, we'll have that on standby, so 110.1. And on our course here, we're going to set our course for the 235 radial. One thing about it, I'm going to independent. Course sync is also independent. So over here, we're going to set our course for the ILS, which is 191. Don't know why the course isn't set here. Nav source. Okay, we're going to keep this synced in that case. it's not behaving how we want it to. We're going to tune back to the Armo VOR. And we'll just have our course set for the 235 radial. Just so we know when we do the turn that downwind leg. Then after that, 340 is going to be our radial. And then 175. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Okay. We're going to continue on here. Landing on which to set us. I'm just 299 FMS checks so far. So my cruise and navigates are now set. Takeoff briefing is completed. 4-star check is complete. We're gonna get ready for our pushback. Prepare for push, and we're gonna do Unite. Don't know why it's that pushback to be right. I'm gonna go ahead and do my clear to start checks. Well, actually first, so the fuel pumps, ground power is disconnected. Shocks are disconnected. APU is on, hydraulics, beacon lights coming on. Fuel pump, we have 7,880 pounds on board. Parking brake is currently set. Beacon lights on, doors closed locked. Takeoff data is set. Electrics are checked. Okay, 4-star checklist complete. Out of the gate here, we want to face east or tail right. Alright, we want to face east on taxiway Bravo. Parking brakes released. Alright, engines are clear. We're going to go ahead and start number 1. Number 1, start is engaged. We're going to watch that engine spool up. N2 is rising. At 20% N2 and below 150 ITT, we are going to introduce the fuel. 20 knots, introduce fuel. Pull it back to idle, not that switch is down. Engine is rising at about 53% N2. We're going to have the starter cut off. Start is cut off. We're going to wait for this engine to stabilize, then we'll start up number 2. Engine and stabilize it. You can start number 2. Alright, once again at 20%, introduce some fuel, and bring back down to idle. Parking brake is set. Alright, we're gonna let this get up to 53 to have the starter cut off, then we'll confirm a good engine start. Alright, starter's cut off. Confirm a good engine start. Like I said earlier, this is a little weird at the beginning, so we have to engage those now. Those are clear. The audio and isolation valve is open right now. AP LCV is open. We can go ahead and turn off our AP. And as well turn on our probe heats. AP is shut down. Left reversers, right reversers armed. Seatbelts no select the signs. Good. AP is shut off. Our takeoff trim today is going to be 8.1. And flaps 8 set. And those are motion. Flaps 8 set. Alright, our taxi checklist. We're going to do our flight control check. So we're going to arm nose wheel steering. We're going to do our rudder fold right. Full left here. Good. And we're going to meet every corner. Okay, flight control check is complete. Back to the stat page. Slats, flaps 8. Flight controls are checked. Trims are green and checked. Thrust reversers are armed. Flight instruments checked. And brake sensor is checked. Taxi checklist complete. We are going to say we're clear for taxi, so taxi lights coming on. Parking brakes released. I'm going to introduce a little bit of fuel here. We're going to start moving. We're so light today that this aircraft's going to start moving a little bit on its own. But coming out of the ramp here, we're going to say clear on the right and clear on the left. We're going to keep going until we get to this Kilo taxiway here. Make sure we're watching as we're coming out. No planes are going to hit us. Which is no factor today since there's no online traffic. Alright, just the sharp turn, we're going to keep the low 10 knots. Start 10, we're on the ground speed. Keep that turn coming. Try and use no braking on this turn as it is against the UVA FLN. We're finishing the turn off. We're at 11 ground speed. That's no problem. Coming up to the runway here shortly, we're gonna do our before takeoff checks. Apologize if you hear the music in the background. There's some people that like playing music in my basement. Alright, as we're turning on Juliet 1, I'm going to turn my strobe lights, running lights on. Flaps are 8 confirmed. Takeoff mode is set down here. Slow down on this turn. Alright, we're going to hold short of the runway here. We are clear on the left, clear on the right. Going to hold short, make sure our before takeoff check is completed. So I'm going to set my parking brake thrust back to idle. Alright, before takeoff checks. Lights and strobes are on, fuel flow, manual. Flight attendants have been advised. Transponder TCAS is set on. Radar terrain, neither of those are going to be turned on for today's flight. CAS is checked. Manual flow, seatbelt signs, no smoking. Parking brake is on. Brake reversers are armed. Before takeoff checklist is complete, we're going to take the runway here. It's going to be a rolling takeoff today. You can see that sign there. Runway 19 left is confirmed before we cross the holding point. And we can also confirm it here on our charts that we are turning on runway 19 left. I'm going to set here. I'm going to go back to my all of you. I do have the 19 left ILS programmed in here as well. finish our turn, we enter the runway. Now it's like I said, it's rolling takeoff. The lights, taxi lights on, stripes on. For flow manual. Alright, we're gonna speed up here until we see 75% stable. We get our center line. Try to keep it right below the climb D10. Not reaching it yet. 75 is stable. Toga. Airspeed is alive. 80 knots, checked. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear coming up. Down to climb so we don't shoot over our speed a little bit here. Over 160, we can go flat to 1. Alright, 1,400 beacons. Engage the autopilot here, heading. Autopilot engaged. And we are going to set our speed 180. Alright, flaps are up. At our clean speed, gear is up. Now we're going to continue up 250 knots. Climb D10. And I'm going to set our altitude 6,000 as we are about to continue up here. Alright, we're about there. So we're going to set speed climb. And bring it just a tiny bit. And it's going to maintain 250, and that's pretty well for us as we climb up. Alright, so after takeoff, this can be set off. All these lights are going to stay on here, so we're below 18,000. Climb checks, fuel flow is auto, leads it, set thrust reversers are off, gas is checked. We do have our spoilers everybody, so we maintain this too, so we do not exceed our 250 knots. Off here about 6,000. Come out of climb thrust. Cruise. Throttle there. Brake your saloon. And our autopilot's going to keep us climbing to 6,000. Right, 6,000. We are going to take a heading of 280. Until we cross this radial. We're going to fully establish on up here. we're about to cross this radial, we're going to take a right turn heading 010. As we're turning downwind here, I'm going to try to get back up a little bit. 225 knots. Weather, clear, condition is dry, no winds. Starting till routing, we're gonna keep going till we cross this 340 radial. Then we're gonna take a right turn once again. And we're gonna fly heading 100 and slow 180 and descend 3,000. Keep that till we cross the 175 radial to animal wheel arm, and we're going to turn right heading 140. Intercept the ILS running 19 left. I'm going to set our altitude here to 3,000. line is a little bit wider than the FRA map states, but it'll be alright. Runway, we're going to be doing the ILS, running 19 left. Landing minima, it's a clear day, so we're not going to require to tune it, but just for good safety here, I'm going to tune it. ILS is 502. Being the airport, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in, and I'm gonna set my speed to 210 knots. I want to slow it down just a little bit so we don't have too much energy on that turn. So speed brakes are max, thrust to idle. We're going to set our landing speeds, VREF 132.5, so we're going to set our V target. Let's keep this 137. That's set there. Past this radial. We're gonna go. I'm gonna keep our right turn and descend maintain. So I set 180. So descent speed. And I'm gonna keep our right turn heading into this one. We're going to set our 175 radial. We're going to do my before landing checks. So, before landing, that's going to be our final course is going to be 191. Briefing the exact approach here. We're gonna be entering at Loot, so we're gonna need to be down 2,000 once we start our final turn. Looks like we're gonna make 3,000 just fine. Our missed approach procedure. We're gonna climb 800 and then left turn 30, so you're heading 010. And then leave 040 radio off the LVOR. And at 180, 175 8. Speed brakes are coming up. here. I'm gonna push in a little bit of throttle so we maintain our speed as we climb up out of this turn, out of this descent here. Alright, if this radial takes too long to go in, I'll initiate this turn. It should be, we should see it crossing just about over midfield here. We're going to set 2,000 is what we're going to be descending to shortly once we see our glide slope. Flaps. 30 can be set. A good bit of thrust back here. Going to be landing flaps 45. We should be crossing this radial here very shortly. Not, we'll just initiate the space turn ourselves. Okay, looks like we're not, so we're going to take a right turn to intercept here, speed 160. Trying 140 knots. Thrust idle. And we're going to switch here. 110.1, 191. We're in an arm approach mode, and it looks like it's got the approach here, so we got the glide slope here, so I'm going to bring in more thrust. We're going to go down to our VREF of 137. Gear down. Runway is in sight. Before landing checks. Passenger signs are on. Flight attendants advised. Landing gear down. Flaps 45. Gonna keep a good bit of thrust going here. We're on the approach. Heading we can set also 191. Got a good approach coming in here. We're gonna make it right 180. This versus our armed. Approach altitude 3,000, we're going to have that set. Miss approach altitude set. control.
Minimums.
Turn my flight director off.
Minimums. 400. Minimums. 300. Minimums. Minimums. 200. Minimums. Minimums. 100. Minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Bring my nose down to reverse disengage. For that center line. Going to take this next high speed here. Right below 6 feet. We can disengage reversers. Reporting for info. Load with a manual brakes. High speed taxi. Slobbering a little bit more. That brake. We are clear of the runway. I'm just going to move forward just so we know for sure we are clear of the entire runway. And we're going to slow down to a stop here. We're going to do our after takeoff, or after landing. So our after landing flow, leasing come off, strobe lights coming off, APU start, and everything else is good up here. Reversers, disengage. And once this APU started, we'll shut down engine number 2. Flaps come all the way up. Say that was a pretty good landing. I'd say at least. I'd say that was pretty successful. Back into the gate. We're just coming off Kilo 7. We'll take Juliet 5. Juliet. Juliet back into the gate. We'll be parking. Delta 8 will work. And no follow me. United Airlines. APU is good. I'm gonna zoom in here. Just confirm. Delta 8's down here. So we're gonna taxi in Juliet 5, Juliet Echo into the gate. Just confirm and that gate is okay for United here at Dulles. I don't like it actually. I'm just gonna make sure we're in a good gate for us. Any C or Delta gate will be fine. Alright. Primary service. And we'll begin our taxi in. We'll keep our right engine to idle. And we'll just use our left engine for taxi here. We'll bring engine number 2 off. Getting a couple errors here, that's fine. Fuel pressure. This is all normal for this right engine being off. Clear left. And clear on the right. Same disarm approach. Juliet 5 here. after landing checklist, APU is on transponder. We can set that to standby. So that's flaps 0. Lights are set, and probes in this checklist say to stay off. However, the UVA FOM states that probes must be on at all times, so we're going to keep those on. Or must be on at all times, well, which is our operator. Slow it down. We don't need to be too fast here. We're coming into the gate. We're going to just pass Foxtrot here, so we're going to go past Foxtrot over to Echo, and then Delta 8 is parked. Yeah, some of those sticky brakes there slowing us down. It's just where you're in MSFest 2020, we had an issue where the brakes, they just like to stick down sometimes. Right up ahead is Echo. The star taxi will be turning in here. Watching for Delta 8 off our right side here. As we see the gate, I'm going to go ahead and turn my taxi lights off. As to, not blind the marshal or anything. I'm going to keep watching here. It's not going to be up until about here. We are 2 gates. Maybe. There's one right at the tower, and then we're 2 gates after that. We're gonna make sure there's no way out of our gate. So we can see the ramp tower. Our gate is most likely right behind the 7-3 right here, but I will still be watching before it as well. So that's an A320 we're going to be looking for after. There's the tower right here. So that should be Delta 2, Delta 4, and we should actually be right after this RJ right here. So we're just going to look in, confirm, see if I can make out any numbers yet. So there should be Delta 8 right here. Taxi lights coming off and coming in. We got our marshaller, eyes on him. We can confirm it is this gate. And I'm gonna bring down some thrust. We want to be pretty slow coming in here. Delta 8, we got that confirmed on the side. And we're gonna try to line ourselves up a little bit here. Just a little bit more thrust here. So watching our guy. We don't want to completely stop. But we do want to be pretty slow coming in. Bring in thrust idle. Parking brake is set. AP is confirmed available, so we can cut fuel. Give the master warning. Alright. And we'll begin our shutdown flight. Up here, we're gonna see that engine's coming down. Good. So we can disengage fuel pumps. Beacon light can come off. Nav light's gonna stay on. Seatbelt sign would come off here. Probe heats would both come off. And we'll keep the air conditioning on for now. Aircraft rear chocks are set. Ground cart is stowed. We'll open the door and we'll say that we're not using the jetway today. People are just gonna walk out of the plane. Pretty good parking job. Right. We can show that power is available, so we can input there. AP stop. I'm gonna turn off all the packs. And heat. Hydraulic pumps coming on. Filters off. Those are off. Off. Nav light is off. Confirming these are all off. Cockpit lights are disengaged. No wheel steering is no longer armed. Should I check? Seatbelt signs off. Thrust levers off. Shut off. Shut off. Any lights off. Fuel pumps are off. Beacon light is off. No steering is off. And terminating checks. We need to turn off our IRS here. Hydraulic pumps are off. AP is off. Battery master. Alright, we can go ahead and switch our battery master DC service off. And we have our one green light. Airplane is confirmed cut of power. Alright, everything's shut off here, so we can go ahead and stop this recording. I hope that my tablet didn't block too much of anything. It looked like it didn't take up too much space. Recording's just over an hour, so that's pretty good. Flight was back in. Only major troubles, so I'm going to go with a little debrief here. Coming in here, we were supposed to get the 175 radial right about here. However, that was not the case. We couldn't pick it up. Also on the ILS, on that final term, on the old charts, it was 3,000 at Izumi, or it was 3,000 at Dady. which is no longer a thing here. So 3,000 would have been at Leffy. However, we were turning in to Loot, as we just set final. So we descended as we were making that turn in. We intercepted the approach, came in fine. At my other flight tracking here, looks like we had a pretty smooth 126 feet per minute landing. But other than that, I'm going to confirm that I'm going to show you all the weather. Real time, afternoon, we saw clear skies. Pressure's 299 or 2, humidity